Caesar Work Boxing, about to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. This is my video on Lomachenko, the hype of Lomachenko. You know, people call him Nomadchenko, or well, they call him the greatest fighter in the world right now. But, you know, to me, I wouldn't say that. And, you know, I have to do this for people that ask me questions in the comments about how do I feel about Lomachenko. Before I go in on him, I'm just going to say this man's a two-time gold medalist. You can't take nothing away from Lomachenko for that. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. He has skills. You know, he does things that you don't see the average fighter do in the ring. I will say that about him. But, I mean, let's just be serious for a moment, you know, about Lomachenko. He's not undefeated. He has one loss to Salido. The first fight he ever had in his career, he lost. You know, with a legitimate pro boxing debut, he lost the fight. Now, since then, you know, he's been doing his thing. He's beat some good fighters. You know, he's beat Rigondeaux, and he's beat Nicholas Waters. I was very surprised for him to even beat what's the last guy he just fought? Damn, I can't think of his name right now. Who was the last guy he fought? He just fought him. He won by TKO. Shit, I remember that at the end of this video. But anyway, first I want to go into, you know, the fights of Rigondeaux and Nicholas Waters. Now, hold on one second. Yeah, Lomachenko, he fought Linares his last fight. I was very surprised that he even won that fight because of the style and the fighting method of Linares. But like I said, I was talking about Rigondeaux and Waters. You know what I'm saying? First, the way they did Rigondeaux was totally bullshit. It was dead wrong. This man had to come up 2 weight classes to fight a 2-time gold medalist who is proclaimed to be the greatest fighter that's walking around right now. Right? Now, we all know that if Rigondeaux would have fought Lomachenko at the right weight, which was the weight that Rigondeaux wanted to fight him at, Lomachenko probably, now he ain't no probably, he would have got his ass ate up. There's no doubt about that. You know, people gonna say, weight don't make a difference. Weight does make a difference. That's why they have weight classes. If it didn't make a difference, they would have fought him at the weight that he was. Okay, then he goes, well, before that fight, before he beat Rigondeaux, he goes and fight Nicholas Waters. Well, Bob Arum had Nicholas Ward on the shelf for almost 2 years without giving him a fight. And then you throw him in the ring with a guy who's been fighting, you know, consecutively, you know, who hasn't been out for months or a year, and you throw him in the ring with him. Now, I'm not giving that excuse to Nicholas Ward on the reason he lost. But I'm just saying it probably would have been a way better fight if he would have been out there and he was fresh. You know, he had been fighting multiple fights, and then he was to fight Lomachenko. So that's 2 fights I really don't give him credit for at all. And then you have to look at when he fought Gary Russell Jr. When Gary Russell actually knocked him down, and no one even gave him the credit when his glove even touched the mat, and they didn't claim it a knockout down. So now you know that Lomachenko is just a hype fighter, and not to be racial, but he's a white superstar. And, you know, they're going to give him full credit amongst anything. You know, so to the people who ask me, what do I think about Lomachenko and is he overrated? Yes, he's very overrated. You know, I'm so tired of hearing about these angles. He throws punches from these angles. He can sidestep. All that don't mean shit. The first time Lomachenko run across a fighter like Sean Porter again, like Salido, he gonna get his ass whooped. I thought Linares was that type of fighter. I don't really understand why Linares' team would tell him to go out and try to outbox him. You know, that was the dumbest strategy in the world to me. You know, Linares comes forward, powerful. You know what I'm saying? His offense is his defense. He throws multiple punches to the body and head. For some reason, he wanted to come out, I guess, that night and prove to the world, hey, I can outbox Lomachenko. That was unnecessary. Your whole game plan was your game plan is to go off the guy that beat him. The guy that beat him didn't give him air to breathe. So why would you come out there pity-pat punching with this man and playing with him? Which he did knock Lomachenko down, but that don't mean shit because he still lost. You know, he should have came out there with the game plan of roughing him up, holding him, and getting his shots off. You know, that's the way to beat Lomachenko. I said that before in my video. Yes, he's a great fighter. Yes, he can work them angles well. I really see him work them angles well. And I also see him do a lot of pity-pat punching that he get credit for, which ain't even powerful shots. He just pity-pat and do this little shit moving around you. And, you know, I don't really want to say what it makes it seem like to me, but sometimes it makes me look like some fighters are paid to lose against certain fighters. I'm just being real. Because the way Linares fight, he's supposed to eat Lomachenko ass up. You know what I'm saying? Straightforward, body shots, head shots. Beat his ass. But for some reason, this man want to get out there, wouldn't even throw a straight right to save his fucking life. And it was right there. I'm sitting there counting, if I was a boxer, how many times would I throw my right hand straight at Lomachenko? And just for one round, I probably said it 19 times. You know, he right there in front of you, throw a left hook, wham. Left hook, wham. You see what I'm saying? Or something. You know, Lomachenko don't stay in no high guard or nothing like that. He's constantly moving around, coming towards you. So that fight to me just didn't look right at all. I was sitting there like, Linares, what the fuck are you doing? You know, do you really want to win? Do you really want to beat him? But, you know, Lomachenko right now is the great white hype. You know, everybody's on his jock. You know, you got Taylor Atlas, you know, Max Kellerman, all the guys, you know what I'm saying, who are white. You know, just to say, he's white. And you even got black dudes who riding his coattail now. I ain't about being racial. I'm just speaking the truth. You know, he's the great white hype right now. He's the shit. He didn't even damn near surpass Triple G. You know, Triple G was the great white hype. Now they put Lomachenko up on the level with Triple G. But, you know, to me, I promise you this. When he does fight, a fighter like a Sean Porter fighter or a Salido who ain't coming out there to prove to nobody he can outbox nobody, who coming out there to rough him up and beat his ass, Lomachenko will lose again. There's no doubt in my mind. With the pity-pat tapping, punching that he does and all that, stepping to the side, fuck all that. When you get in there with somebody who really want to win, who ain't worried about no money, worried about being in the spotlight after they beat his ass, he gonna lose again. Simple. Because they talk about him as if he's an undefeated fighter. He's not undefeated. Okay, he got one loss. He ain't got number what, 15, 16 fights? I mean, he ain't that motherfucking special. He lost before. You know what I'm saying? You talk a lot of shit, but even though I'm not a really Floyd Mayweather fanatic, he ain't never lost. It been motherfuckers came in like Marcus McDonald, come straight forward trying to knock his motherfucking block off. He didn't lose. But y'all don't give him the credit they give Lomachenko. You know, so. And as far as with him and Tank fighting right now, I don't want to see Tank fight Lomachenko. Not that he couldn't beat Lomachenko, but I think his game plan would be fully wrong. His game plan would be more coming out there trying to prove that he can outbox Lomachenko. And I'd like to see Tank come forward all night, pressure. I want Tank to become a different fighter when he fights Lomachenko. I want him to go outside of his boundaries to beat Lomachenko. And that's the only way he's going to beat Lomachenko. Coming now thinking you finna box this man for 12 rounds and probably end up with a decision, that's ludicrous. It's not going to happen. There's no way they'll let that happen. And plus, you know, you got to knock the champion on his ass, like I said in my last video, or knock him out. There ain't no coming in there trying to box with this man when he's the great white hype. You won't have to knock his ass out. Simple and plain. But, you know, I'm not bashing Lomachenko to all Lomachenko fans who are on here, you know what I'm saying? No matter what color you are, pink, green, yellow, you know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, I don't see as much skill in him as everybody's saying. You know, all the man really does is just jump to another side of you while you're throwing a punch, and everybody's just amazed by it. You know what I'm saying? They act like he doing somersaults and outboxing people at the same time. There's nothing amazing that he's doing. It's just that he's a showman. You know what I'm saying? He is really, all he's doing is really showing off. You know what I'm saying? And true enough, he beat Gary Russell, which I gotta say again, no one gave him credit for that knockdown. They would never give him credit for that knockdown, but he knocked him down. When your glove touched the ring, you've been knocked down. But I just had to make this for my fans. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say my fans, because I'm nobody special. I mean for my subscribers. I love my subscribers. You know, I try my best. If you send a video and you want me to talk about it, I'll talk about it. But Lomachenko is nothing special to me. He's just a good boxer, a great boxer, who has a different skill set than others. But once he fights a fighter that don't care about skill set, who's coming out there to show the world that I am better than him, with a Sean Porter style, Marcus McDonald style, he gonna get his ass whooped. And I put money on that. But you can't put money on it until you see the fight. Because like I said, for some reason, it's in people's head when they get in the ring with a guy like that. Same thing with Floyd Mayweather they used to do. They want to get in there and prove that my skills are on the same level as yours. That shouldn't be your game plan. Your game plan should be, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to make this the roughest, toughest fight this motherfucker ever had. If I got to be dirty a little bit, I'll make this motherfucker know my presence in the ring. And they don't do that. I mean, he beat Nicholas Waters, Regendow, which we all know for a fact, man. If he'd have fought Regendow the right weight, that shit wouldn't have went like that. Y'all know that. And I ain't riding Regendow coattail. You know, any man could lose. Like they say in boxing, on the right night, they all can lose. But he wouldn't have beat Regendow like that. Nicholas Waters, maybe. Ain't no maybe. He beat Nicholas Waters, but it wouldn't have been no turnout like that if Nicholas Waters would have been on the shelf for 18 months. If he had a chance to be out there and had some fights before that, that wouldn't have went like that. Nicholas Waters quit because he seen that he wasn't even fresh enough to be out there with nobody like that. Nobody jumping around from side to side and moving like that on you. And like I said, I'm not taking credit away from Lomachenko. Lomachenko is a good fighter. But let's not just hold him up on this pedestal as the #1 guy. He's not. He's not. You know, I have to look. I was going to get on boxing and stuff, but I just got off, y'all. When I get off, I'll be trying to really chill and relax. You know what I'm saying? But I have to make my videos for my subscribers because I appreciate y'all even subscribing to me. And I have to give y'all what y'all want, man. And I'm going to do that. But he's nothing special. He's nothing special. If he was undefeated, then hey, I'll probably be like, oh, you know, even though he took Nicholas Waters and Regendow out on some bullshit to me, you know, then I'd be like, all right, he may be the truth. But right now, since he lost that fight to a fighter who I know came out there to beat his ass, it ain't too much credit I can give him, you know. But we'll just have to see what holds in the future for Lomachenko. You know, but like I said, I'm not bashing him. I'm just talking about the hype of him. You know what I'm saying? He is the great white hype. You know, they just talk about him like he's the most superior boxer that's ever been out there. Only because he could jump to another side and most fighters don't see him. And the fighters he was doing that on was average fighters, you know, or, you know, as they would say, taxi cab drivers, warehouse workers who just got in the gym, got in the ring and just wanted to get a payday. But we're going to see as time goes on, because he's a young guy and he's going to have to fight plenty more fights. That's if they don't fuck around and make him retire to make him look like the best that ever did it. But I guarantee you, like I said, once he get in there with somebody who ain't worried about trying to outbox him and who really want to beat his ass, y'all will see Lomachenko lose again, you know. But it's easy work boxing. Thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. And I'm out.